Alrighty guys, Brett Garamella here. Today we are going to be talking about my number one secret that you've never heard of for photography. Alright, let me just zoom in a little bit. Alright, so let me just make sure we got this going. Are we going? Yes, looks like we're live. Looks like we're live. Got anybody in the chat? Nope. Alright, I don't know. Okay. Alright, so got a couple photos here just to start. I just thought this is me jumping in over in the Grand Canyon. Then right here is Yosemite. Okay, nice little shot in Yosemite. And then we have, this was me a few years ago working out in my gym. And Shaquille O'Neal works out at my gym as well. So that really large, tall gentleman right there is Shaquille O'Neal. So asked him for a photo, why not? So I just thought I'd put that in there. All right, so composition. So my number one secret, really, taking good photos, a lot of it is about composition and really creating depth. Okay, so the most important thing for composition, you get the rule of thirds, leading lines. We have all these rules that you've heard of probably before, but really the most important thing is we want to make a two-dimensional surface look three-dimensional. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we're going to create depth. Okay, and I'm going to show you my number one secret. It's really going to give you some depth for your images. Okay, so keep in mind that the eye goes from element to element. And I know this is vague, but I'm going to give you examples in a second, so just bear with me, okay? So we really want to tell a story within the image, and my secret today is going to make both the viewer's eye go from one element to another, and it's also so it spends more time and is more interesting, and it's also going to tell a story. So it'll give you depth, and it'll also help tell a better story. Okay? So my number one secret is the triangle. Okay? Now you may be thinking, what are you talking about? What is the triangle? So I'm going to show you in 1 second, and let me just check the live feed to see if anybody is on for a second. All right, good morning, bright guys there. All right, we're going to keep going. So the triangle is my number one secret for getting better photography, for taking better photos, okay? And I know most people have not heard of this. That's why I kind of made that title there. So let's look at this image first. This beautiful image in Yosemite, okay, National Park here. All right, so early morning, nice lighting, nice composition, but what is really nice about this photo? What really makes it great? Okay, so let's apply my triangle theory here. And my triangle theory, my triangle method is really, you want to create spaces that form basically a triangle. So the eye goes from the lightest part right here, okay? And it goes to another light part over here because there's shadow right here. And then we have this waterfall, this little interesting waterfall right here. So it forms kind of a nice little triangle. And the eye goes around here. And you see these other little triangles here. And we see there's so many triangles in this photo. All right, so it creates a nice depth. So we create depth both with putting stuff in the foreground, like these trees are in the foreground, mountains are in the background. And we also do it with shadow and light. So you see the light is lighter back here, it's darker over here, and that creates depth. But keep in mind the composition overall, just look for the triangles. Okay, so if we look at it again, we can also see that we have these triangles here, and this is just based on, like I was saying before, the shadow and the light. Okay, so we go here, the contours of the mountain form this triangle. Okay, so it goes from this top mountain peak to this mountain peak, and then down. This mountain peak leads down towards the valley here, and then we go over here, and then we go over here. So it leads from one element to another. I hope you see that. Okay, so let's go into another example. It just doesn't apply to drone photography. So many different types of photography this applies. Okay, so I think you can already see right away some triangles here. Okay, so this is me doing the Jumpman. I used to do that a lot. When I'd visit a place, I would try to do the Michael Jordan Jumpman because I played basketball in high school and college, so I like doing the Jumpman. So this is me in the Grand Canyon, and as we can see, there's many different triangles right here. You go from this arm down to this hand, and then down to this shoe, and forming these different triangles. Okay, and we go again. We can also see these other triangles being formed, not just from my shoe down to this little plant here, up to my other shoe, sneaker, etc., but also with the shape of the cloud. This cloud almost has a triangular shape, so it goes down here, and then this too. So look for these triangles. Really, people say, oh, it's got to be rule of thirds, and you got to put this over here, and leading lines, but really the triangle, this triangle theory, if you really understand it and you studied, I learned this from some of the master painters back in the day, reading a lot of art history and painting books. I learned this thing. So this is nothing new. This has been around for hundreds of years. It's just people don't really apply it, or people aren't really into this nowadays because they don't take apprenticeships to learn this type of thing. So that's why I'm trying to give this knowledge to you today so you can apply it to your own work. Like they say, everything's been done under the sun, but it's applying it to your own work. Okay, so here's me again jumping over this mountain. This was in Colorado. This was Mount Sopris when I was out there. In case you've ever been out there, it's really nice, near Glenwood Springs. Okay. And once again, we see these triangles, both with myself, and then it leads down from the head to the arms, to the foot, and then it goes down. We got this other triangle here, from the foot to the ground, to here, and then the mountain. So the triangle really helps your eye go from one element. It's the story of me jumping, and then the story of the mountain's in the background. Now, I could have made the mountain a little more blurry, darker. That creates a little more depth too. So shadow and light, once again, helps that. But also the shape, in terms of composition, we got to master the art of using the triangle. Okay, so let me just check the chat to see if there's any questions, and we're going to keep it moving. Okay. Good morning, Tony. Good morning. Any questions? Nope. All right, we'll keep it moving. Okay, so let's say we're doing a real estate gig. This was a shot I did for real estate job. Okay, so in this room we can see some nice leading lines into the photo. Decent composition, nothing great, nothing bad. Okay, just a decent photo of this room. All right, this living room. But take a closer look, we can see that there's a lot of triangles. So the more triangles we can create, actually the more interesting it's going to be. Now, not every photo is going to have a lot of triangles because some photos are very simple. But the more complex, the more things in an image, kind of the more triangles we want to form. Okay, so you can begin to look at images like this and see the triangles. So if we look over here on the left, we can see this line goes here, the triangle goes here into this lamp, and then back down through the couch, and then over. And even this lamp goes down to the chair, over here, around here, in the midsection, in the table, there's another triangle, and that leads to this other triangle over here. So again, these triangles, and these are just some the triangles I came up with for this photo. There's obviously so many more triangles in this photo, but the more you learn this triangle method, you'll see there's just triangles everywhere. So try to create these triangles. So let's look at another one. This photo right here. At first glance, you may be like, oh, there's not really too many triangles right here. But actually, it was very intentionally done. So one way to form a triangle odd numbers look better in photos than even numbers. So there's 1, 2, 3 right here, okay? And then over here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, really 5, 6. It would have been better 7 right here, and then 1 here, 2, 3. It's like one thing right here in the middle, 2, and then 3. So if we look at that, it really does form a ton of triangles. So you notice how it goes, your eye goes from one element to another, and again forming these little triangles, and the triangles make the viewer's eye go from one element to another. In other words, one corner to another, taking in and telling a little story within each triangle or within each element. When I say element, I mean triangle. So you could also use the word, instead of triangle, you could say storytelling element, okay? Same sort of thing. And we have many different little stories, and it also makes the viewer's eye go around the frame or around the image from one story to another, okay? And these are the triangles I came up with. You could probably come up with more, okay? Now, let's say this commercial shoot for Nike right here, and I was standing on top of the basketball hoop, okay? So, once again, I think you guys can see a few triangles right here. Also use shadow and light to create depth, to add a three-dimensional quality to it. Once again, we want depth and we want storytelling elements. The way we do that, create this triangle right here, the shape of his arm. All right, and right here with the basketball hoop, the hand, and the triangle. So it could be very simple. Like this photo is very simple. There's not a ton of triangles here, but very simple. Even within the hoop, we can see these little triangles here. Okay, so everything helps. Even here, down here, this other little triangle here. So there's little triangles within the bigger triangles. All right. Everyone loves Brooke. I showed her before. This is a while back. I did a shoot in Miami, and I think you guys can see some of the triangles right here that create the depth. And I also did notice the light. So her face, the eye naturally goes to her face, not only because she's good looking, but because it's lighter here, and then it's darker in the background. So remember, the eye usually goes to the lightest part of the frame, and that creates some of the depth, okay? The light and the shadow, but also these triangles. So notice these leaves right here, I kind of move these to let the viewer's eye go from one corner into the frame, and then we see her, and then to the outer part of the frame, and then around. And the triangles take us around the different parts of the frame, okay? So I hope that makes sense to everybody. All right. So you got to do this and purposefully. These aren't accidents that I'm putting these triangles like this. To me, it's kind of intuitive because I kind of have a photographic eye, but I also do think about these triangles. Now here, there's just tons of triangles. You could probably come up, I don't know how many, maybe like 50 triangles in this photo. And this was a wedding that I shot, so you could do it for wedding photography, wedding images. And these are just some of the triangles I came up with. Now there's many more triangles in this photo, all their arms. So you always want the person's arm slightly bent. It looks more natural. Also forms that nice triangle, which leads into other elements of the photo. Okay, going from all the subject's heads, from one head to another, and then their arms, and then towards their hands. And then that leads towards these little things that pop up, and they kind of like this popping thing. I don't know, with the weddings they do crazy things like this. All right, so this was the bride getting ready. Okay, so once again, showing off the triangles. Now, here's another image that I took at that same wedding, okay, of the groom getting ready, and I posed them purposefully, both to show, now you can see the balance in the photo, going from the top to the bottom. You can see the triangle there, and over here with this lamp, forming a nice triangle. So imposing people and putting different things in your photo, or if you're taking drone shots, moving your drone around, think about filling the frame with these triangles. So that's what I purposely did. Even the way These guys have their legs crossed. I asked them to sit a certain way to form these different triangles in order to create more interest, depth, and storytelling elements in the photo. Okay? And as you can see, there's many more triangles in this photo, but these are just some of the ones I came up with, some of the obvious ones that, and you don't need a ton to form a composition, you just need a few, and that will allow you to form a nice composition in your shots. Okay? Let me just check on the live stream here and just check to see if anyone has anything to say. Any questions? Any questions going on? We're good in the live stream? Okay, we'll keep it moving. All right, so here's another photo, wedding photo. I just got a few more examples, guys, to show you. And I'm using different photos to show that this applies to all different types of photography. So here's another wedding photo. And as you can see, the triangles are right there. Okay, creating that depth, making her go all the way to her hand. Okay, another thing is, if you see the subject, if their eye is leading towards this way, you want them to look into the frame. So his head, I purposely put on this side. Again, that's rule of thirds. Okay, but the triangles again form a lot of different things. Help go to this little rose here, to her eyes, to the face, etc. And once again, this is simple, very simple image. This photo that I did. And the triangle is still there, but it's very simple. Okay, here you don't see as many triangles, but here's a few triangles right here to create the depth, but I added more depth here with the specific lighting. So the lighting created the depth, but also you can see even within the way he's posed, the way I had him jump, it creates these little triangles. Okay, there's more triangles in this photo, but here's just two obvious ones. Okay. Now, all right, so now look at this photo. Now it's your turn. Can you come up with some triangles? All right, so look at this photo right here. Take a moment. Do you see any triangles in here? Can you see how I created depth in this photo? This was on Venice Beach when I was out there. I took a photo of this gentleman making a skateboard, painting this artist here. And you can see all different triangles. I mean, it goes from the guy's head down to his arm, obviously to the skateboard, but here even with these umbrellas, the three umbrellas form a triangle, and then with this guy form a triangle, and then with this antenna forms another triangle. So there's so many triangles in this photo. All right, so another one. All right, there's me and Shaq. This was just someone took this photo. It's not a great photo, but as you can see, there's not a ton of triangles here, so, you know, which doesn't make it as good of a photo. I could still come up with some triangles here with the basketball or two heads. The thing down here that I'm holding, these ab slings here, the 24-hour fitness sign here, so you could get the different triangles. But not as many here. Once again, not as much depth, okay? Also, you notice we have the background and the foreground are similar light and dark, so there's no depth to it, okay? So that's it. All right, that's it for my photos. Oh, my lesson for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, let's give away a color grading tutorial to someone. Who wants that tutorial? Let's see who's in the chat. I'll pick whoever's in there. All right. All right, Jason says, wow. All right, I hope you enjoy that, Jason. So for my color grading tutorial, let's give this to Bry Guy. Did I give you my color grading tutorial? I don't think I did yet. So why don't Bry Guy and Tony, if you could leave your email right here, I'll give you this color grading tutorial and my cinematic LUT pack, which will help you color grade your videos without doing anything. I'll also teach you how to color grade as well. Okay. So Bry Guy and Tony, just write in your email right here. If not, I'll pick another winner in the live stream. Okay. And also my Drone Pilot Pro course, Start and Grow a Successful Drone Business. I'm still working on it, still adding more videos to help you grow your drone business. And if you sign up today till the end of the month, I also include a free 1-hour chat with me. Okay, this is the Ultimate Online Drone School, where I teach you everything you know, from mastering your drone to editing to passing your Part 107 license so you can fly commercially and then earn money with your drone. And I'm working currently on the Drone Business Pro course, which will be done at the end of the week. I've finished editing those videos. Okay, so if you sign up, you also get the Adobe Creative Cloud for 60% off. So that basically pays for the price of the course itself. Okay, that includes Photoshop, Lightroom, all the Adobe apps, okay, Premiere Pro, etc., etc. All these apps are included for 60% off. Okay, and I use these all the time for my drone business, and I'll show you how to use them in the course. Many of them, not all of them, but the ones I use the most, I will show you in the course. And then I also show you, I will give you to October 30th, 1-hour drone talk. So I'll talk about anything you want to talk about drone related or business related in terms of landing your first job, or if you're already working, how to get 4- and 5-figure deals, okay? Instead of hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollar deals. How do we do that? I walk you step by step, and I'll jump on a phone call with you or a video chat with you and show you exactly how I do that. Okay, and all of that is included in the pre-launch. It's going to be $299. Okay, basically this will easily pay for itself just with the Adobe discount, but also with the work that you're going to get. Okay, so it's a money back guarantee too. So if you don't like it, you can try it out for a couple weeks. If the course doesn't live up, go way beyond your expectations, then I will just all you have to do is just send me an email and I will give you your money back. You can also pay with PayPal, Apple Pay, whatever Google Pay. And if you're not satisfied or whatever, you can call them, get your money back. All right. So yeah, it's a risk-free, but obviously I created this course to help you. But I gotta say that anyway. So the link will be below this video after I finish this. All right. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to end the live stream. Wow, Jason says, how big is Shaq compared to you? Yeah, Shaq is huge. Everyone loves that photo. That's why I put it in there. One of the biggest human beings, I say, not the biggest, because I actually met this guy on a plane one time. It was a college basketball team. He was actually 7'7", which was kind of extreme. But for some reason I run into basketball players. I don't know why, but maybe because I was a basketball player. But yeah, that was Shaquille O'Neal. That was pretty crazy. And a pretty nice guy. I think he was a little upset here because I interrupted he was shooting around and I just asked him for a photo, but he obliged. All right, so that's it for this live stream. Bry Guy and Tony, leave me your email. If not, Jason, leave me your email down here, or actually after I end the live stream, just in the comments, and I will send you the color grading course, okay, plus my cinematic LUT pack, because I don't see anybody's email right here. So first 2 people to put their email will say in the comments under this video will get my color grading course. Okay, that's it for guys. I'm Brett Caramella, and have a great day. Hope you enjoyed this one.